winner of the New Jersey Press Association's Most Innovative Award.
Welcome back to Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shea, bringing you the top headlines in Central New Jersey. Here's what's going on in your neighborhood. Bayshore Bungalows, Preserving Briar House, Animal Shelter, the Distaff Slate, and Summer Sounds. As the Jersey Shore enters its third summer since Superstorm Sandy, another milestone has been reached in the Bayshore's recovery. Located in Union Beach, the first of 15 bungalows planned for Monmouth County has been completed. The nonprofit Affordable Housing Alliance began the Bayshore Bungalow program in the wake of the 2012 superstorm with an objective to provide a cost-effective opportunity for homeowners to recoup some of what they lost. The bungalows are modular homes that come in 5 different models, and each starts at around $150,000. This price includes design, permits, and full construction. And homeowners may also be eligible for grant subsidies for their homes. 2 other homes are currently under construction in Aberdeen and the Highlands. For more on this initiative, see your Greater Media newspaper today. And here's Mark Rosman with more headlines.
Guests at Manalapan Day 2015 will take a trip back to the 1970s when David Cassidy headlines the annual community celebration on June 20th at the Manalapan Recreation Center. Cassidy starred in The Partridge Family on ABC TV from 1970 to 74. His 8 p.m. performance will highlight a busy Manalapan Day, which will be held at the Recreation Center from 3 to 10 p.m. and feature games, rides, vendors, a pie eating contest, entertainment, food, and fireworks. Parking and admission will be free. The Manalapan Arts Commission is organizing the annual event and is requesting donations of non-perishable food, which will be donated to the Samaritan Center. Manalapan Day will also feature the debut of M-Wear, a limited edition clothing line emblazoned with the township's signature M. Money earned from the sale of M-Wear will help fund the creation of a network of trails in Manalapan.
And here's Taylor Lear with an update on a pipeline project in Upper Freehold.
The proposed Southern Reliability Link project, expected to travel through Upper Freehold Township, now has a different route. As initially conceived for the Upper Freehold portion of the line proposed by New Jersey Natural Gas, the project was planned to run from Arneytown, Warnerstown Road to Millstream Road to Monmouth Road, also known as Route 537. The amended route proposed by Upper Freehold's governing body and approved by NJNG calls for the pipeline to travel along Upper Freehold's border on Province Line Road to Monmouth Road. An open house was held last week at Upper Elementary School in North Hanover Township for the public to get the chance to come out and have their questions answered about the project. The plan calls for a high-pressured gas pipeline to run through portions of Chesterfield Township, Manchester, Upper Freehold, Jackson, and Plumstead. To read more about the amended route and the open house, read this week's Examiner.
And here are the headlines you need to know. Both Ocean and Middlesex counties operate regional animal shelters, but you can't find one in Monmouth County. Well, local officials are calling for the creation of one, as the lack of a shelter is a growing problem for towns. Right now, Monmouth County Animal Control relies on local nonprofits, which have limited space and staff. The Middlesex County Improvement Authority's newest website feature is steering residents toward one of the region's natural resources. A series of comprehensive maps will provide an overview of local streams, waterways, and inlets. The online maps also include the uses, currents, and even restrictions regarding the bodies of water. The fate of the Briar House in Matawan continues to remain uncertain, as the site has now been included on the list of New Jersey's 10 most endangered historic sites for 2015. The annual list, announced by Preservation New Jersey, labels the Blue Historical Mansion as hurting from a lack of public funding. If there's one municipality that doesn't shy away from the summer music scene, it would be Woodbridge. The township will be hosting the first of 50 concerts this season, ranging from country to rock and roll. The Woodbridge concert schedule has been growing since its launch in 1999, drawing crowds of young and old to see all types of original and cover bands. And here's Tim Morris with an update on the local sports scene.
The George Sheehan Classic, the 5K run through Red Bank, has become a very popular destination for runners over the years. More than 1,300 of them jammed the streets of Red Bank for this year's race. While the runners are the most visible part of the Sheehan, it takes hundreds of volunteers behind the scenes to make a race run smoothly. Treating the runners well is what keeps bringing them back year after year. One of those volunteers is Marlboro's Mark Uberman, who worked one of the water stations.
I'm actually doing the water this year at the finish line. We had a lot of kids that came up and helped us with the water. So we're in good shape.
A quick check over the watches, and then it's time to go. Runners of all ages and talent levels are off on their own personal journey that they will get to share with more than 1,300 runners. They are all running for different reasons, but they are all running. At the start on Broad Street, there are runners everywhere. At the finish, however, Mark Leininger, the former Colts Neck High School star, had Broad Street to himself as he captured the 22nd edition of the Sheehan 5K in 15 minutes and 9 seconds. Women's champion Marissa Cummings from the New York Athletic Club also had the streets to herself.
Hi, I'm Mark Leininger. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Colts Neck. I ran at American University, and I'm going to be moving down south actually to Greensville, South Carolina, to join Greenville Track Club Elite down there in about a month.
What was your impression of the Sheehan itself?
It was good. It's a good race. It's put together really well. I had a good time, and it's definitely a challenging course, more than I thought.
After the race, volunteers cooled down the runners with the showers or a cold drink. This is Tim Morris for Greater Media Newspapers.
A local park is turning 75 years old. Here's Kathy Chang.
Cheesequake State Park in Old Bridge, which draws millions of people from all over the country annually, celebrates 75 years this year. The 1,274-acre state park, which officially opened on June 22, 1940, is unique because of its geographical location. It lies in a transitional zone between two different ecosystems. The park is centrally located, and it is in the county's only state park that encompasses the northeastern hardwood forests and the southern pine barrens. A 75th anniversary celebration was held at the park on June 6th. Superintendent David Donnelly welcomed dignitaries and former superintendents and employees who attended the celebration. Cheesequake State Park was named after the Lenni Lenape Indians who frequented the area to hunt and fish. The land for the park was purchased from farmers who then sold the land to the state. The state park offers an opportunity for swimming at the 6-acre Hooks Creek Lake, freshwater fishing, a crabbing bridge, a nature center, picnic areas, and numerous campgrounds and hiking trails. In 1950, the Garden State Parkway split the park. The park is home to various flora and fauna. New Jersey State Park Service Director Mark Texel said as they move forward, funding is key for the upkeep of the park, and said they are always looking at ways to become more sustainable. For more information, visit gmnews.com.
While men are still disproportionately represented in public office, an exhibit will celebrate the efforts of a group of women who challenged the status quo decades ago. Adam Ujako has more on the Distaff slate in Sayreville.
It was 1967 when Peggy Kerr's Distaff slate, made up of Kerr, Dorothy Carter, Florence Koval, and Dolores Zaccardi, upended the political order in the borough of Sayreville.
Facing a male-dominated political establishment, the women took the borough by storm when they won in a landslide victory in November's general election. Right down the street from Sayreville's Borough Hall, a new exhibit has opened at the Sayreville History Museum, which honors the triumph of the Distaff slate.
I think what got them really interested in politics was that they had learned about a proposed apartment complex that was going to be built near their home. They didn't feel that the apartment complex was in their community's best interest. So they tried to raise awareness to inform their neighbors about the complex. They started going to borough council meetings, and they were able to effectively squash the development.
Emboldened by their success as citizens, the women decided to form a ticket to run for public office. It was then that they would encounter the prejudices inherent in the 1960s political system.
The opponents of the Distaff slate were cruel in their criticism. They didn't take them seriously, and they really didn't like the challenge. When they were campaigning, their biggest priority was to form an open government.
The effort paid off with landslide victories in the Democratic primary and the general election against the Republican ticket. Kerr's children were on hand for the grand opening of the exhibit and remembered their mother's strong will and determination.
Mom was like a strong-minded person. She always accomplished basically what she set out to do. You know, she was a good, loving mother.
She was strong, but I mean, she didn't mean to make a statement though, but it's just something that she wanted to do.
I guess they had enough of the status quo politics and decided to do something about it and pulled it off.
However, in just 2 short years, the girls were out of office, unable to find the support they needed from the local party.
The Democratic Party decided to back sitting councilman Thomas Kaburski instead. When Carter and Koval's term ended, they decided to run for re-election. Again, the Democratic Party did not back them, even though they were sitting Democratic councilwomen. And when they lost the primary, they decided not to run in the general election. And that was the end of the Distaff slate.
To learn more about the Distaff slate, visit the exhibit at the Sayreville History Museum, located at 425 Main Street in Sayreville, open Sundays from 1:30 to 4 p.m. This has been Adam Ujalko for Greater Media Newspapers.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, see your Greater Media newspaper today. Keep up with the latest headlines by liking us on Facebook at facebook.com/Greater Media Broadcast News or by following us on Twitter at GMedia News. I'm Susie Shea. See you next time.